Yo, this is Set with Set Media, man. I'm here to talk to you about our partner, Kalshi. Kalshi is the largest legal prediction market in the United States with over 1 million users. It's available in all 50 states. They are a real money market, people trading on what they think will happen. You can build a position and trade in and out of almost any prediction you think. Kalshi facilitates trade between people kind of like the stock market. There's no limiting your trades just because you're winning. Kalshi will pay you interest on your position. So if you make a long-term trade, you can earn a return even before the market is resolved. If you want to try out Kalshi, go ahead and give them a try, guys, at my link, kalshi.com/setmedia. Get $20 when you trade 20, so it's 20 for 20, guys. Once again, that's kalshi.com/setmedia. Go ahead and use my code setmedia to get $20 when you trade 20. Let's go ahead and take a look here at Kalshi, because like I said, it is a trading market where you can put in your prediction and you can go ahead and earn interest on that. You can make money off the knowledge that you know, and if you put $20 in, you get $20 back. So all right, guys, make sure to go check out my guy Kalshi, because you can get in on good trades like who will Trump nominate as Fed chair, will Ali Khamenei be outed as the supreme leader, and will the US confirm that aliens exist before 2027. So if you want to get in on this action, once again, go ahead and go to my partners at Kalshi. Go ahead and use the link, or you can hit the QR code above and use Set Media to go ahead and get $20 when you trade 20. This is Set from Set Media, and shout out to Kalshi. To the time. But I mean, hey, yo, I'm all for a safer world.
The leadership. So we got rid of the one leadership, then we got rid of the second level of leadership. Now they're on their third or fourth level of leadership. And they have leaders right now that nobody even knows who they are. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Let's go ahead and get to the next one here. And we're going to start on the left side of media.
Showing the extent of the damage to U.S. military facilities.
So let's get into it. Iran war with satellite images reveal after week one.
Imagery showing the extent of the damage to U.S. military facilities across Gulf Arab countries is starting to emerge. Part of Iran's furious response to an Israeli-American campaign that decimated...
Hey guys, you know what? Look, I got to hold strong to my beliefs. Trump said no new wars, no war with Iran. He judged Obama for not having no diplomacy. He said Obama was going to go to war with Iran, and he was criticizing Obama for it. So can we maintain some consistency and actually condemn Trump for this? Let's be real. That was a promise that he just did not keep. And I'm be real with you. This could have a negative effect on the economy. The economy that he spent the entire year building back up, it could all be torn down with just this alone. He might have ruined his chance for midterms. Do you know how much people voted on no new wars? That's done. This man might have threw away midterms over this. So we need to get serious. This is not I ain't gonna lie, this is not the fun ride y'all think it is. This might actually be the end of the Republican Party.
Its leadership. At least 9 U.S. military...
I mean, shoot, would you vote for a party that told you one thing then did another? I mean, we get mad at the liberals for doing so, but all of a sudden we're in lockstep when the Republicans do it? Where's our consistency?
Positions have been hit in less than 48 hours. These are relatively close targets. They're much nearer to Iran than its usual target, Israel. That proximity may give Iran's missiles and drones a better chance of hitting their targets. This is the port of Shuaibah, where just after 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, an Iranian strike set a makeshift U.S. operations center at the civilian port ablaze. 6 American service members were killed in the attack. You can see smoke rising from the fire. The blown-out 3-wide trailer blackened on the inside. There are few signs of fortification. In another attack, a drone, this appears to be the Arash-2, crashes into U.S. positions in Camp Buring. A building severely damaged. American helicopters parked inside the base were nearly hit. In Bahrain, a Shahid attack drone flies into the base that hosts the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, one of the largest American naval formations in the world. It looks alarmingly defenseless. The drone hits one satellite communication terminal, clearly seen here. But the scale of the damage is more obvious. Here, warehouses and other buildings damaged, and another satellite communication terminal destroyed in a separate attack. We see this pattern of targeting throughout the region. At least 5 satellite communication terminals were destroyed. It points to a possible Iranian effort to cut US bases off from the outside world. Iran used an unprecedented barrage of missiles and drones. US Patriot missiles and other multi-billion-dollar air defense systems shot most of these out of the sky. But the ones that got through were enough to puncture the veil of security around oil-rich Gulf Arab states.
Oh, guys, make sure to double tap that screen and like the video. Appreciate the support. Do you have any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements? I'll be happy to engage with it and read it out loud. Just $2 and up, especially for those of you who disagree. Because trust me, I got something for everything y'all got to say specifically. Definitely you guys.
And the heart of America's security infrastructure in the Middle East.
We have obtained incredible new satellite imagery, and this is really important. It does show extensive damage at military bases across Iran, as you might expect, but that is what it shows. Now, we're using these images to piece together how the United States managed to kill the country's supreme leader and so many around him that they after they thought dark was light, darkness was done, they're going to have this meeting. And was taken out. The U.S., we understand, had secretly been trailing him with intelligence for months. Katie Polglaze is out front with this incredible report.
With Iran very much still under attack, we've been using videos and satellite images like...
What's so crazy? There's literally idiots who literally think, oh, they're partying in the streets. Most Iranians are in the streets. No, most Iranians are digging out their dead family members, you effing dumbass. You really sat here and thought that, oh my God, the Iranians are dancing in the street while they're getting bombed? Are you dumb? Like, bro, you think they have time to celebrate them getting bombed while a girls' school got bombed, while hospitals are getting bombed? Well, actually, you'll see what I mean, because hospital got bombed due to the fact that they bombed a building right next to a hospital, right across the street from one. And that's what we did. And you think that the Iranian people are celebrating that? Bro, is there something wrong with you? You might have drunk the Kool-Aid, and actually look up the geolocation of those videos, because I guarantee you they're not in Iran.
This one of the strike on the Supreme Leader's office to analyze how the senior leadership was dismantled by US and Israeli strikes and where exactly they've hit.
We now know from US and Israeli sources that the CIA, along with Israeli intelligence, had been tracking Iran's senior leadership for months. Then came intelligence about a perfect opportunity to strike in broad daylight when many of Iran's top officials would be in the same place at once.
And that place was here, the leadership house and the hub of Iran's power. It's also the office of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, now confirmed dead. It's in a very old traditional Tehran neighborhood, surrounded by government offices, scientific institutions and museums. Khamenei was known to not leave this compound much. He was seen here in this video just last week, addressing crowds at a mosque. The Israelis say they hit 3 sites on the compound simultaneously. We found several locations that have damage. You can see a central building completely flattened. You can also see 2 craters here. This one appeared to have been targeting an underground structure, according to a former US Special Operations Tactical Advisor, Wes Bryant. Over here, you can see crowds and emergency and construction vehicles. But this wasn't the only location hit. The Intelligence Ministry headquarters was also up in smoke yesterday. And then there's this strike, right outside the house of former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. He has today been reported dead by some Iranian outlets. CNN has not been able to confirm his death. Ali Shamkhani, a senior advisor to the Supreme Leader, has also been reported dead by the Iranian authorities.
And these guys were low-key dumb as hell. Now, look, it's either they were dumb as hell or they were just, ready to die. Because they all met up in one building, and these are all top officials, and y'all met up in one building to be bombed? All right, then.
He narrowly escaped death last June when Israel struck his home in this precise targeting of a top-floor apartment. Almost miraculously, he emerged from the rubble days later. This time, he was not so lucky. But others have been. The Iranian foreign minister here, Abbas Araghchi, was away in Geneva this week. The Oman Foreign Ministry posted this picture of him meeting his counterpart just 4 days ago. That trip may have saved his life. But Iran is very much still under attack. This IDF footage from Sunday morning shows a strike on the headquarters of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the notoriously brutal elite wing of Iran's military. What happens next remains to be seen, but Iran is aggressively fighting back, striking multiple US allies across the Middle East, including the United Arab Emirates. Fires visible here over Dubai's port area, alongside Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain.
All right, I want to go to retired Army Major General Spider Marks now out front, head of the geopolitical intelligence.
All right, guys, do me a favor and double tap that screen, like the video. Let's get more people in the conversation. And also, if you have any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements, I'll be happy to read it out loud and engage with it. Just send a super chat, or you can send a gift to support the show. Let's keep it going.
At Academy Securities. And, you know, when you look at Katie's reporting, it's just incredible, the detail, and to look at that. Khamenei rarely left the compound where he was ultimately killed. OK, so in a sense, as she reports, that was common knowledge. Right. But the reason that they did this when they did it, we understand, is because all of the senior leadership came in here. I mean, there was probably no bigger, you know, one strike to take out all that could have existed than this one. And it should have been pretty obvious that such a thing could have happened, I guess, in retrospect. I mean, what do you think, Spider? Was there any sign that this was coming to the Iranians? They obviously did not think they had been penetrated.
Totally surprised. I think it's a combination, really speculation on my part, but I think it's a combination of hubris on their part and the notion that they had been in negotiations with the administration over the course of several weeks.
Oh, no, that is true, because now, guys, I need you to remember, and this is according to the Omanian foreign minister. This guy said that, yo, when I was in that negotiation room with the U.S. and Iran, they walked away happy. Iran said that, well, yo, we're not going to go ahead and make no nuclear bombs. We'll go ahead and let you have access to it and do your inspections. And supposedly everybody walked away happy. Then all of a sudden, Israel's planning to strike Iran, and we follow up with them.
And reports at the end of last week indicate
that's the only reason I can even see these guys being any type of comfortable, or like I said, it could have just been dumb, or three, I mean, they could have just been ready to die as martyrs.
That progress had been made. In other words, they probably understood that they were now negotiating themselves into a position where there might be a delay on the part of the administration, that they were favorably aligned in some particular areas. And so who knows? It's absolutely baffling that they would do that, right? But also you have to understand that someone who doesn't leave the compound for weeks on end probably is not surprising. We saw that with Osama bin Laden, although he never left that thing for the longest time. But he also isolated himself, and he kept it very clear that his support network was as probably well-trained as they could be to obfuscate their kind of connectivity. In this case, bringing 40-plus leaders to see the boss, very bad idea. But again, I think it's probably those two factors that probably played into it. They probably thought they had more time, and technical talks were going to take place in Vienna on Monday. Obviously, those are off the table, of course.
Yeah, so it was a false sense of security.
And on the deadliest scenes of war, CNN is among news outlets reporting.
Oh, yeah, and we pretty much feigned diplomacy. Think about it like this. We walked in saying that, look, we want to make sure Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. Everybody was cool with that. Everybody's on board with that. Fantastic. Iran comes in, they're ready to talk about their nuclear weapons, but, well, we moved the goalposts, or our negotiators moved the goalposts to their ballistic missiles and proxies. Iran is like, yo, we never talked about that, and we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the nuclear capability that you guys are worried about. And for some reason, instead of just handling that, we were pretty much moving the goalposts, saying that, well, not only do we want your nuclear capability gone, we also want your ballistic missiles gone, and want you to stop funding the proxies. And at that point, we were telling them just to get down or lay down. And I mean, that's not really negotiating at all. It's pretty much, we just pulled up to them and told them what we wanted from them and hit them with the or else. So pretty much we just kind of feigned diplomacy. It is what it is.
It may have been a strike from the United States that hit an elementary school in southern Iran, killing some 168 grade school students and 14 teachers. The investigation is ongoing. CNN's Isabel Young has an early CNN analysis.
Nearly a week after a strike killed scores of students in Iran's Minab, it seems more and more likely that the US was responsible. A new satellite image shows an Iranian Revolutionary Guards base and an elementary school in southern Iran. Here you see craters in several of the buildings, including the school. They were hit.
So yeah, this is why I said it looks like this could have been a mistake. Like, I truly don't believe we're over here just bombing school just because we want to. Of course not. I mean, even when we like low key, like, I'm be real with you, bombed the hospital, we didn't really bomb the hospital. We bombed the communication center that the hops was right across the street, and the blast from that bomb affected the hospital.
In their exact.
So we're hitting key targets. We're hitting key military targets, but they just so happen to be involving civilians. I mean, it is what it is. And also one of the reasons why, look, nobody wanted this war, but for some reason, the neocons and the guys who worship Trump, who just want to switch up all of a sudden.
Enters.
So no new wars. Trump's going into a war. I'm all for war. Like, bruh. Crazy.
Suggesting precision strikes, experts say. A wall separates the school and the base. Satellite images from December show dozens of people in what appears to be a handball court at the school. Reuters now reports that US military investigators believe US forces were responsible, though they haven't yet reached a final conclusion.
It paints a picture of multiple simultaneous or near simultaneous strikes. It looks like these were delivered with explosive munitions, probably air delivered. I think the most likely scenario in this case is that it's a US or Israeli airstrike gone awry. It's probably a targeting failure somewhere in the targeting cycle, an intelligence failure.
The Israeli military say they weren't operating in the area.
To date, we've hit over 2,000 targets.
American military officials say they carried out extensive strikes in this area and released this map.
Right here. Right, this is the map that they released on the extensive strikes. And the girls' school is, I believe, right here at the tail end of it.
Showing strikes in southern Iran. The base and the school in Minab are located here.
We, of course, never target civilian targets, but we're taking a look and investigating that.
The damage we've seen to the building is quite significant, and it's unlikely it was something like an air defense missile fired by the Iranians, for example.
When we try to assess who is responsible for airstrikes, we typically try to examine the weaponry fragments left behind. But in this instance, there's an internet blackout in Iran. It's been really difficult to obtain that. And so this investigation is still not conclusive.
Nick, you've been taking a closer look at some of the satellite images of destruction in Tehran. What are you finding?
Yeah, it's important to remind people of some of the images we've seen emerging from Tehran. A lot of devastation, smoke over the skyline, and giving you a sense, I think, of obviously civilians caught at times in parts of this, but also too, at moments, some of the buildings that have been particularly targeted by Israeli and US airstrikes. Some of the satellite images here, I can't see the ones you're showing one by one, Jake, but we're seeing images amongst these of Iran's Ministry of Intelligence, the Islamic Revolutionary Court, the IRGC's Tar Allah headquarters, and even some damage sustained to a hospital when they seem to be targeting a communications tower outside a judiciary complex as well. It's important also to remind viewers that just today, the assembly of experts appear to have met in Qom to try and find a new supreme leader for Iran after the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And there are some indications that this process may be moving forwards quite quickly. But that building in Qom was hit by an Israeli airstrike. Now, there are suggestions in Iranian state media that, in fact, that building may have been evacuated. In fact, there's more reporting suggesting they may have tried to have put those 88 senior clerics together to make this decision through virtual means. After all, it is 2026.
A city under attack. It's also home to millions of people. The US and Israeli bombing campaign of Tehran has been targeting intelligence complexes, police stations, and state broadcasters. But we verified videos and analyzed satellite
images.
images.
Wild, by the way. So I understand intelligence. Shoot, I can even understand the police, even though that's public safety and they're going to need that. But F it. I get it. But the TV station, like, really? Like, what does that kind of have to do with anything? I mean, we're just bombing their TV station so they can't get out no type of news. And then we're going to sit there and say that Iran's doing a media blackout when we're blowing up their TV stations? Like, what? But I'm all for the taking out of the police station their intelligence. I mean, it has to be done if we want to, get what we want out of this war. Which, look, Donald Trump has said regime change. Now we don't want regime change. Now we just want to grind down their military capability. I mean, look, bro, it's like, I mean, everybody's saying it's a war looking for a purpose. Or my bad, a war looking for a goal.
And found the impact is going beyond that, due to the densely packed nature of the city and the large-scale weapons involved. Take a look at this satellite image. This crater is at least 40 foot wide. That means it was likely caused by a 2,000-pound bomb. The target, Iran's state broadcaster, the IRIB. The strike wiped out its communications mast. These bombs used by both the US and Israel are capable of killing or wounding people more than 1,000 feet away.
Yep. And that was the problem. Like, this is the bombing that I'm talking about. Like, yeah, it was a communication center, but it has 1,000 feet lethal radius. And this hospital is like right here.
Israel are capable of killing or wounding people more than 1,000 feet away.
And for some reason, there's people in the chat who think that the Iranians are dancing to this. Really think about that.
And just 100 feet away is the Gandhi Hospital, one of the biggest in Tehran. Glass shattered, walls collapsed, and patients, including babies, being rushed out. As more videos like this one began to emerge, we started verifying them, pinpointing the hospital where each one was filmed. Then we cross-referenced with satellite imagery to see the damage caused by US and Israeli strikes. Like here, you can see the blown-out windows of the Gandhi Hospital from space. Over in another central part of Tehran is the Motahari Hospital. And just behind it is the Iranian police headquarters. In fact, you can see a police helicopter pad down here. This image is from just before it was struck, and this is after.
Gone.
Entire buildings flattened.
Gone.
The Motahari Hospital is still standing, but we verified this video showing substantial damage inside.
Thank God. All right.
It's not the only hospital in the area affected. Over here is the Khatam Hospital. Glass windows shattered, and medical staff are seen running out.
Well,
further down the same street is the Iranian Red Crescent Society. Smoke billowing from behind the building. Again, people are fleeing. Across Iran as a whole, more incidents like these are emerging. We geolocated this video to the Persian Gulf Hospital in the city of Beshahar. You can see newborn babies being carried out amid the rubble. It's unclear what the target was, but it's close to an airport and military airbase. But it's not just hospitals. Other civilian sites are also bearing the brunt of these strikes. This school in southern Iran was directly hit, resulting in the deaths of over 160 students and staff, according to Iranian state media. Neither the US nor Israel have acknowledged they caused the strike. It was just 200 feet from an Iranian military base. You can see multiple of their buildings hit, as well as damage to the school. Another strike hit this gym in Fars, southern Iran. There were reportedly 20 volleyball players inside at the time, Iranian media said. It was also right next to a police station. As strikes continue, access to safe...
Guys, I'm going to keep saying this, but like I said, there's people online that's going to lie to you and tell you that the Iranian people are celebrating this. Like, ridiculous, guys.
Medical facilities will be crucial, but the civilian toll is mounting. The human rights activist news agency now reporting over 1,000 dead. Katie Poglaze, CNN, London.
All right, CNN has reached out to U.S. Central Command and the Israeli military for comment on these strikes and the steps they are taking to prevent civilian harm.
All right, can I ask you about the nuclear targets? Obviously, that was the entire focus of the operation last summer, in which the United States said that Iran's nuclear program had been obliterated. Some of the satellite images that I saw the other day, I guess maybe 36 hours ago, Colonel, from Natanz, for example, post what they said were strikes, looked like nothing had been hit at all. It was very hard to tell. Are you actually seeing targeting of Iranian nuclear sites this time?
So that's a really interesting question. When you look at some of the imagery that we have right here, this is of Natanz. There is some damage to this particular area in this area, but the problem that you have is it doesn't seem to cover a lot of the other buildings that are part of that nuclear facility. So that's Natanz. There are other elements here, for example, at the Fordo site and at Esfahan, where there has been some damage to this, but we really don't have a good handle on whether or not they've actually been able to create major damage. Now, the one thing to keep in mind, Aaron, is that the B-2 bombers that were flying during the June attacks have maybe been flying just a little bit during this exercise, but they have not been able to really go in and take out anything. They haven't used those 30,000 pound bombs that they used back in June.
Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin. She's live in Washington with the very latest on Operation Epic.
All right, guys. Yes. And like I said, let's get over to the right side of media on Fox News. And like I said, we don't know if Russia is providing weapons, but we do know for sure that they're providing intelligence, and them and China.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Sandra. Admiral Brad Cooper said the number of Iranian ballistic missiles fired in the first 24 hours is down 90%, but Iran has a near limitless supply of Iranian Shahid drones, which are being targeted by cheap American.
Guys, let's make sure to support the stream so we can keep on going longer with a super chat or a gift. Appreciate the support. And you can go ahead and put in any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements. I'll be happy to either look up what you're trying to tell me or engage with what you're trying to argue with me about. Or if you just want to show some support, man, I appreciate that. But let's not also forget to double tap that screen and like the video. All right, let's go.
$10,000 weapons, according to Brad Cooper. Separately, American Lucas one-way attack drones that have been reverse engineered by the U.S. military from Iranian Russian drones found on the battlefield in Ukraine are now hitting fixed targets in Iran.
This was an original Iranian drone design. We captured it, pulled the guts out, sent it back to America, put a little Made America on it, brought it back here, and we're shooting it at the Iranians.
The U.S.
I mean, yeah, yo, that's kind of smooth. Like, yeah, I mean, no, we do. Look, they hit us with the drone, or they tried to. We captured it. This is a nice little drone they got. We re-engineered it. We put a Made in America sticker on it, and now it's working for us.